Hey guys, welcome back to week 3, night 2, I should say. Sorry, I messed it up a little bit. When we are about to witness a Xylophone dudes come up against REEality. Both new rosters for the Premier League, but a lot of veteran names. Vandy, what are you looking forward to most in this next match between these two teams?
I think we're going to see a couple more like cheese picks tonight. But in terms of what I'm really looking forward to, it is going to be a little bit of games that are focused more towards comfort picks. A lot of these teams, yes, we know that they have experienced players, older players that have been around the scene for quite some time. But in terms of playing on a team that's been newly created, they really haven't had any synergy just yet. They're still working into it a little bit. We have seen some glimpses of it come out, but these teams, I think it'll be quite evenly matched. So I'm really excited to see how they play it out.
Yeah, going at, but each roster is still trying to develop, still trying to find their footing in the league. Both teams are revolving around scores such as one victory inside REEality, 3 losses. XD, Xylophone dudes, 2 wins but 3 losses. So we're going to see what each team can really bring to the table against each other. Very similar scores, but we're going to be loading into Volskaya Foundry, where this is a pretty exciting map. I think in weeks gone by, this map's actually been banned from competitive play, but not anymore. Everything has been fixed, and it's looking all bright and new.
A lot of players at first, when this came out, they weren't really a big fan. They said that it could be quite snowbally, especially after the changes to the giant Mr. Roboto came through, or the Protector. But after that, I think teams have really come on board and they really started to embrace the playstyle. They know that a lot of the power can come from, yes, controlling the Protector, but also if you do have a clever split, you can really set yourselves up for the Protectors so much more so. And because the points are decided not by RNG, but the same place every time, teams are actually come up with strategies around how to best play around them.
Yeah, it's really good to see the flavor of a team, how they perform this map. And it's very traditional in the meta. We don't see anything, we don't often see strange picks coming out on this map. Again, unless, a team's got some sort of super pocket strategy they're trying to cheese. But, we see the usual suspects. For example, Malfurion banned, Garrosh is banned, Genji's picked up. This leaves open the Blaze to be picked up on Xylophone dude's side if they go down that route. So normally a traditional draft. But I will point out, if anyone is going to interrupt the formula, it's going to be Xylophone dudes, Vandy. They always bring something crazy to the mix.
Well, the Maiev as well didn't make it through the ban phase, meaning that she was open for the pickings, and so she was taken away, as was Leoric. So instead of the Blaze going for the Leoric, meaning that if the Blaze is still picked, they can play against it. These are some very, very fast picks right here. The response being that Muradin and Abatha. The Abatha I'm very, very interested in. We've seen ANZ really start to embrace him now, and I'm so excited. I've been saying it for ages where I'm just like, we see Europe playing it a lot. We see NA whipping it out a lot. Why don't we ever play Abatha? And now, finally, teams are starting to really sense the value that he can bring.
What do they say? We see London, we see France. We finally see the ANZ region playing Abatha. Wait, that doesn't rhyme at all.
I thought you were going to say Abatha's underpants, because I was like, that kind of rhymes. But I don't think he wears pants.
This is a classy place, Vandy. It's a classy place. We don't.
Second round of that ban phase right here. And if you were staying here with that Maiev, with the Leoric, you'd be thinking, okay, what do we have? What else are we going to pick to either... what can shut us down, in other words? So I'm thinking already, if you've got that Maiev, maybe considering banning out the Johanna, but when you've got that Muradin there, it's doubtful that they're going to pick it, so maybe just opting to swap for a Blaze. But they have banned the Uther instead.
Yeah, we talked about some sort of more meta style pick, but these are the ones slightly off.
The target ban.
That is Xylophone dude's MO 101. We know Flaze loves to play Cho'Gall, and he's always dragging his team into it whenever he can. So that a little bit of a target ban there from REEality. Not wanting to deal with that, especially since they have picked up Abatha themselves, just being down a physical body. And even though Cho'Gall kind of does that physical body loss, argumentatively, the raw damage is still coming out in the fact of it's 2 heroes in one, two players in one. Where Abatha, sometimes the physical presence can be felt. The loss of physical presence can be felt But you know what? The extra experience he brings certainly warms everyone's hearts.
Especially in the early game, when you do have that habit that you feel it quite substantially in the early game. Once he's got his heroic at 10, you don't feel it as much, but it's all about getting that soak up. The Uther as well, I mean, we didn't really discuss why that was quite a nice ban in itself. It can really shut down what the Maiev is trying to bring. If she's going to try and dive down, can have a lot of that stuns, as well as the Divine Shield if you are going that high burst.
Oh, beautiful pickup here. ETC and Stukov, Xylophone dudes. I remember that on the team Downfall last season, which you see 2 members picked up by Xylophone dudes came from that team. They played a lot of Stukov and a lot of ETC. So a little bit of a flavor coming on from there. And, you know, we can just see Stukov can make these amazing plays with the lurking arm onto the Volskaya Foundry capture points that lock out the Genji when he dives in, or the Muradin trying to get in for a stun, or any sort of facet or option we see picked up by REEality.
Well, there's nice synergy right here. Stukov, he can either combo with the Mosh to just lock out people after they're trying to exit. He can also then, if the Leoric is going to take Entomb and try to single out some targets, also then do the Lurking Arm Silence into that, which is just devastating. So there's a lot of synergy already between these guys right here. And they're just going all in on that wombo. I'm looking at the Maiev, the Leoric, the ETC, and the Stukov, and I'm just like, you're going all in on that team fight.
I will fight to my
Ooh, that is it. And the return of a Jaina and a Rhaegar. Making a nice little pick here. I love how Jaina has developed. We haven't seen her for such a long time. And then all of a sudden, just out of the blue, Jaina makes a resurgent, and she's just doing so much damage, especially when she hits 20 and she's getting the water mute on the elemental. And it's just, ice is flying everywhere. It's like the adult version of Frozen, but everyone dies at the end.
I'd say that would be the adult version of anything if the adults die while everyone's dying. But Jaina, as you said, she has been coming back into the fold of things. She adds that much needed wave clear, especially with your composition with that Abathur, Genji, Muradin. You don't have the best wave clear, so you just want to make sure that you do have someone that can consistently push them out so you can find value in other areas of the map. And Rhaegar, again, as I said, he can also add to the wave clear, but he has been coming into the swing of things more for the Ancestrals. We did see Bloodlust actually being chosen earlier tonight when he was picked up, and we saw varying success with that. With the changes coming to Ancestral Heal, Bloodlust is actually kind of looking quite viable these days.
Yeah, it's how the teams are sort of experimenting with it and seeing what value it returns. It's great that we're sort of in a meta where you can make those sort of subtle changes and they're not affecting the outcome too much. Each is viable. Now, Vandy, I just want to comment that I said that this map generally we see a lot of meta, a lot of traditional picks, but these teams, they're like, we're going to make a liar out of you, Disco. We're going to show you what we're both made up. Both teams just mixing up the formula tremendously. Though I will say REEality a little bit more on board with the traditional side.
just a little bit. Bouncy as well, taking that Nazeebo. We really didn't get to touch on that. Puts a game on a little bit of that time. We know Nazeebo, he'll be looking to stack up. And once he hits 20 and gets that viral infection, it's a whole other ball game for this guy over here. So it's really interesting. The longer the game goes, it really will benefit Xylophone dudes.
Definitely, indeed. So while we load into Volskaya Foundries, let's just give a quick shout out to McDonald's, the HGC ANZ Premier League sponsor for Season 2. Thank you so much for coming on board and assisting in our region. All right, we've loaded in now to Volskaya Foundry. And on the blue side, of course, it is the one, the only... Sorry, to clear my mouth. Xylophone dude.
And also we do have, on Xylophone dudes, Tommy playing Maiev, Sailor on Stukov, Sarah Lee playing Leoric, Bouncy on Nazeeba, and Flays on ETC.
That's it. And over on the red side of the team, it is REEality. It's Pesky on Rhaegar, Booty on Jaina, Hack on Genji, Demise on Abathur, and Reformed on Muradin.
And already a quick tactical timeout, one could say, at the very beginning of the game. We're just going to get into that, see what's going on. But Disco, one thing as well, we talked about the composition of Xylophone dudes, where I said it's very much all in on the team fight. On the flip side, for REEality, they can really isolate some picks right there, similar to the Genji, to really start things out. And if they do isolate, you've got the Jaina who can chain those slows, just making you an easy target to collapse on.
Yeah, that's it. Can't escape if you're in a slow state, or it becomes much harder. But both teams poising now around just at the start of the map. I think Spell Sky Foundry, I sort of feel, plays a lot similar to the maps where you're just waiting. You're just waiting for the objectives to spawn, and each team sort of rotates around to try and get advantage. But wow, look at that. Tommy in so trouble there. Already first off the run, overextends and gets punished both by the Jaina and the Genji. Just dishing out a lot of damage there, Vandy.
Tommy completely overextended. Skimmy say he was in Africa right there, and he didn't need to be. He was just playing so aggressively, and that was just really what REEality wanted to take advantage of.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for. For these little moments in the map where you can do that, where you can get a hero sort of slow down their rotation so they're not being able to soak the experience, and then just get back into the lane and always try and have that little advantage, that little lead. That's just going to, again, when it's time for the objectives, you might hit 10, you might hit a talent tier, just something to gain a bit of advantage when you all collapse to one point.
Very early siege camp started here by REEality, and that's really going to bolster the push coming out in that top lane. Because they have the wave clear, it's something that you need to be mindful of. If you're not really seeing those members in lane, they're probably going to be taking those camps and then looking to keep these lanes cleared out and then go for a gank.
Yes, that would be beautiful plays there. That's what they're looking for. Tommy went in, maybe being able to hook in the booty there on Jaina, but didn't quite connect. Backs out. Behind this, they're going to pick up their turret in preparation for the objective. And the turret gets so much value in a good position, can really zone out the enemy team and stall them out from going to the phase. Or if they do want to, they take a lot of damage.
They do a lot of damage, especially because they're left unchecked most of the time when teams are rushing on in on these objective points. But also, they have a high health pool, so you're wasting precious seconds to try and take them down. And if you don't have easy poke, that can actually put you at risk as well. Yeah,
if you look at the damage on the side of Xylophone, it's very... you've got Nazebo, who can actually throw out his toads and his abilities, and then Maya with a fan of knives. But outside of that, if Nazebo wastes his abilities on the turret, it's not there to deal with the opposition. So I don't feel they have a super good option to deal with the turret. They kind of have to walk up to it, take a lot of damage, do a couple of auto attack swings, and behind all that, they're being damaged by the enemy team.
So control point A, Disco, It will spawn or unlock in about 12 seconds now. So you can already see REEality. As I said, the lanes are being pushed out and they're first to try and position around it. Tommy, he does try to go in onto Pesky, who's been caught out here. And the Loki on silence is absolutely devastating.
Yeah, the armor, being able to prevent the wolf there, runs away. He's got the safety of the Abathur mines.
Look at this escape path.
But Tommy's gone, not today. Get back here, you naughty little pup. Gets the kill, and that is so poorly timed for Xylophone, dude. Great for REEality. There's no healer to other way around, man. Great for Xylophone, devastating for REEality. No healer, so it's almost a ton of free capture on the side of Xylophone, dudes.
Every dog has their day, and for Pesky, just time ran out right there, but it's not too devastating because you can really see the death times are so short that it does allow most teams to have a second chance at contesting the point. Yep. And the Abathur mines, they were so strategic. I love the use of them right there. They're providing vision, but also the utility to almost let Pesky escape. That was some great play.
Oh yeah, that was shout out to Abathur there. Great play on that. Now look at this, they fighting off the point here. REEality coming back, looking for a kill. Can they get onto Bouncy? Maiev, they pulled in reform. He's getting a lot of damage. Murden's removed. That's a huge front liner. Besides REEality now, Xylophone dudes could make a big play here. We got Sarah Lee on the point now, pressuring Pesky. Maiev looking for Oxy, goes in, looking to connect onto Jaina. Does get the free Genji that well. Nice power slide from Flays. That's it. Maiev actually does get taken out in that exchange, but they trade it for a kill again onto Rhaegar, not having a good game so far, Vandy. And the point is re-picked up for Xylophone dudes.
Not all is lost though. Demise was soaking with Abathur while that was all happening, so he will be making up some of the experience lost. But as we saw in the early game, we are expecting Xylophone dudes to come out a little bit on top as Abathur gets to that all-important level 10. You can really start to participate in these team fights.
Yeah, that's it. And then have such a... Ooh, what did Leoric fall to fight going down over the point actually behind all that? Not looking good for REEality again, and Maiev has connected. Didn't back out, however, looking for a great opportunity for a teammate to team to respond. Bounces out, stun goes onto Flays. Plays looking for an opportunity. Blocked by his own team. Zombie Wall goes in. Murden under a lot of pressure right now. It's still running away. Gets finally taken out. Goes in. Hacks next, but he does back out again. And look at this. REEality are on the back foot. They have to retreat here. There's no way that Jaina, Genji, and Rhaegar can finish this. In fact, Genji's been removed from play.
Genji drops, and things are starting to look a little bit worse for REEality. So the first protector now will go over to the side of Xylophone dudes, and they're really close to trying to get that level 10. If they get down this fort, all of that experience will put them in a nice stead, Disco.
Oh, look at that. The REEality must be setting in for the team right now. About level 10 is slowly on the horizon, and it is not going to look good for him once that pops with the protector and the 10. That's happened right now. What can they do? How are they going to defend against this without losing another member of the roster?
I mean, they're going to be trying to just keep it safe, play it, and really utilize Jaina's wave clear. Yep. That's really what they can do. But that huge zombie wall right now means that Booty is not going to be safe. And he just steps out for just a moment. That's all Bouncy really needed. Yeah,
another gentle tap coming out there from the protector on the Booty. But look at that, Flays now. It's safe. They're just safe. Right now, Xylophone dudes can do no wrong except if they run it down mid. They've 10's about to hit for REEality, so they can make a return play. But this top lane has been devastated so much that the next protector, Vandy, is going to just be able to walk into a free fortification.
Huge combo right there, Tommy, to really lock him up with the Umbral Bind, and then Flares following up with the Mosh, and the lurking arm silence by Sailor was already there. This man, he loves his Stukov, and we know why, with plays like that.
That is, it's just sickening to watch. So they're fighting under the fortification of REEality, who have their level 10 talent, and they still weren't able to push them back, weren't able to hold them at bay. Just the Xylophone dudes, they have no fear, and they don't need to have any, because I think they're feeling pretty confident right now.
They are. Flays as well, he completed his prog rock quest quite early on into this, meaning that any chance that he gets, he can really bolster on his team and heal them up. So it's just like a little power spike that he's got. He is also holding on to the support camps, the ward that spawns out right there. Yep. So it means that in the next team fight, they're really already set up. They've already done the hard work, Xylophone dudes, and they're just going to wait for that next team fight, hopefully with 13 acquired as well.
Yeah, look, just so much advantage here. Look, I actually like this play right now, REEality. We're looking to see if they were doing the Merc camp. Didn't catch them out, but I like that. They're looking for opportunity. However, it does mean it's sort of giving them a experience deficit even further because they're not in the lanes, not soaking. This next objective, they're definitely going to be a 13 to 12 level story, and 13's a talent tier. Potential, spikes for the team of Xylophone dudes.
Oh, definitely Maev gets a bit of a spike, as does Stukov. But the rest of the team is going to be that late game, the 16-20, that really they start to come online. And for Leoric. So Leoric as well as Nazebo, they get their huge power spikes in that 20. So be looking forward to that one. And that's really what they're racing towards here. Oh, yeah, definitely agree there. But look at that. I was just looking at Form jumping there, looking to lock down Leoric if he could. I don't think there would have been much follow-up damage, but it's a nice little, a gentle tap, just remind that he's there. Tommy, maybe a little bit of a Genji pickup there, but we're just looking to clear the lane more than anything else. But there it is. The objective is spawning, 20 seconds, and can a REEality pick up level 13 in that time? Is there enough experience on the board for him to do so? There definitely will be enough time because you could already see the rotation from Xylophone dudes was to send everybody top. But if they rotate here, this is where things could get a little bit scary for REEality. Oh, the nice lockdown comes in. Leoric did fall, but it's set up for its position there. Flays looking to go in. His mosh pit is ready if he can connect to someone. But however, they have dragged in Muradin. Not the best target, but they'll have a go at it. Again, Flays looked at there. Sees Pesky, sees Jaina, but not quite ready to commit. Team not ready either. Booty getting some free damage. Backs out. Flays wants him. He wants the Jaina. The gate's gone down. They've got Pesky. But again, Flays can't quite connect just yet to lock anyone down. They've turned out. REEality says, we can take this. They're going in there. Nice pushback. Separated them out now. Demise in the back taking a lot of damage, but there we go. He finally falls. They get the Genji, and that's what Xylophone dudes were looking for. Remove a bit of the damage on the board. Jaina might be next, but Muradin starting himself dicey. Dwarf tosses out.
his safety. Good for the moment. And Xylophone Dude just looked to back out and claim the objective.
So although Sarah Lee was the first to fall, that's probably the ideal target to fall due to Leoric's passive, where he can just come back in a short amount of time. So the respawn timer was really in their favor by keeping them in that fight as well. Tommy to really force onto Pesky, forcing her to back out. She got a really nice ancestral heal, which connected with Genji, but the saving grace of that fight was Flays with that mosh pit. After all the interrupts, after everything was said and done, he got a huge mosh up, and then that really just allowed Bouncy to just start getting and hammering away at the damage.
Yeah, just bouncing all that damage around. He's definitely having a lot of fun with that. But, just the threat of mosh pit also really gearing booty on Jaina, knowing that just how frail they are. But look at this REEality. They're pushing back now, goes in. Hack looking for a kill on Bouncy now, gets pushed out by the massive shove from Sailor. Good use of heroic there. And Maiev thinking about diving in, chooses not to. Again, I love these little, let's call them like fear plays, The fact that Maiev could appear, the fact that we could see ETC going for a power slide, not now because it's off cooldown, but before. I love how Xylophone Dudes are playing this. Maiev, great hook over there. They've captured Jaina. She's eye blocked for the moment, but she has been removed inside the board. And nice mosh pit as well. No, the mosh pit, sorry, just locked down. Pesky's in a lot of trouble there. And a REEality, again, starting to lose members left, right, and center. We see Muradin almost fall, nearly fall. Ancestral heal come out, but at the cost of Pesky's life. Muradin finally falls, and that's a bad trade. Bad deal. No deal, Vandy. No deal today.
And Mosh Pit wasn't even online. So if Mosh Pit was online, that would have been so much more devastating, Disco. But what I'm really interested in terms of these fights as well, now you can start to see Xylophone Dudes getting a little bit of that synergy. They're really exploiting Jaina's weakness with that low mobility right there. She is essentially a sitting duck. So once you start to get a couple members of the Entomb, and then Tommy as well with the Warden's Cage to really block off any further escape, there's not much Booty can do.
Just trapped in the ice block, only buys so much time. And, they're desperately trying to get to just to level 16, so at least Northern Exposure can come out on the board for a Jaina to lower that armor on some of the target. But even then, I don't think it's going to be enough, because Xylophone Dudes are fast approaching level 20, where I don't think there's going to be any sort of comeback for REEality when that happens.
REEality as well, they are trying to cling onto the remnants of their base, but they are starting to stem structural damage. And yes, we do have the Abatha right there, and he can also heal up the buildings. He didn't actually take the mule though, so that option is gone. So this damage is going to be permanent, and it's just very difficult as well, because they're not really gaining advantage. They're holding on because Abatha's soaking the experience, but they're still falling behind in levels.
Well, while we're waiting for this protective, which is still alive, so I think it's duration of time. Look at the map. Everything's still up for Xylophone Dudes. Even to the sense that the wall is up on the majority of the lanes. Some damage, but essentially they're all
Big
up.
fight now, Disco with the Entomb kicking things off, followed by the Mosh right there. But Flays is taking so much counter damage, bit off more than he could chew. That's the first to fall. This is looking good. Ancestral stopping, reformed from falling. And Hack has to get out there with the Dragon Blade, so it's currently one kill right there. But Tommy extremely low and the next to fall.
Oh, this is a good counterplay from REEality. Getting those precious kills there. It's slowly closing that gap, which they really need. But look at it. It could be costing them. Pesky could be the one to die next. They do eventually kill Leoric. So again, they're just stacking experience. REEality, they needed this. They needed this moment to get back into the game. And if they kill Stukov, it's a team wipe. This is so massive. We can see Amatha here soak multiple lanes while the other members of REEality start to push lane, pick up what mercenaries they want, what objectives they need. This could be the comeback they were looking for.
The execution of what Xylophone did there was fine. It was really the place that they chose to fight under that front wall. Yep. So they were taking multiple damage, and also the Mosh and the Entomb. Yes, they did get 2 members, but they were tanks. It wasn't the damage right there. So Booty was like, you're all just sitting there right now trying to collapse on us. I can just sit there for free, block off your escape. No one's threatening me for once. And that's where Jaina really starts to shine.
The only thing I see right now, Danny, is what REEality chose to do is it looks like they've tried to go for all the camp value. They haven't really pushed in and sort of tried to push in any lanes, any structure or something like that. Do you think that was the smarter play, picking up the mercenary camps? Or would you have liked to have seen them to try and start opening up a victory condition by pressuring a lane, particularly because no structures are down for Xylophone Dudes?
Well, that's it. It definitely comes down to when we win the fight, what value can we get? And it's already hard when you don't have any structural advantage. I would have liked to see them take down some structures. I can understand the value getting the camp, especially because it telegraphs the rotations coming out from Xylophone dudes.
Oh, that's it. Zombie Ball's gone down. It's acting as a nice little gate there, allowing XD to escape. And look at that. We saw Abathur on demise. He did do the clone of the Jaina. So that's been wasted now for the moment. He's still in effect, though. He might be able to get some value. He's about to fall. So Abathur's kind of effectively out of that fight, except for his hat and shooting a target. But, yeah, I think that's a little bit of a win for XD just then.
Because Xylophone dudes didn't lose any members there, as I said, REEality, they knew the telegraph rotation that would come. They picked up the camp. They were expecting them top lane. If they did get those picks, those stagger deaths right there, they could have found an insane advantage just trying to get that Merc camp. Because that fight before in the bottom lane was won by REEality, they should have tried to push out that wave and try to get some advantage, or at least take out the well in that bottom lane, because now we see there's a safe rotation or a safe escape on the side of Xylophone dudes.
Yeah, and if they managed to take the fort as well, they would have been able to, had they won this, if they win this objective, really start to put pressure on the keep. Even if they do win this protector, they really have to look, well, we're going to have to kill a fortification, then a keep. They're just leaving so much time open for Xylophone dudes to respawn if they get kills. Like, don't know who's going to take out this objective. Xylophone dudes obviously doing a great job sitting on there right now. They're already at 30%. Even if there is a big fight breaks out, REEality are just going to not even be able to slow them. They're still going to be counting up quite nicely there. Torrent's gone down. It is on the conveyor belt. It will get taken out. A shove's already been used onto Muradin, allowing them free range. Demise, the clone was back up, but we see the Jaina clone's about to fall already. Genji's gone in, gets interrupted by the Maiev. But look at that. Everyone's on the same spot, and everyone is sort of taking damage, but it's mostly on REEality. That has got to hurt. What a misplay on them, just diving in too deep on the conveyor belt, and as Xylophone dudes taking huge advantage of it, pushing them into where they want to via ETC, and dropping a sick beat. Dandy, I can't wait to hear the record drop for the side of XD after that one. But look at this, Protector's going to march right onto a keep. Gee, I wonder if they're going to get much core value out of this, or if they're going to just be able to take a second keep from it.
Can see, but in that replay that we just saw, guys, you could already see how clustered REEality were in terms of that team fight, and also Pesky just being completely bullied off, so there's no help right there, so having to retreat away. The Protector is marching onto this core right here. As you said, this was kind of the win condition or the win path that we would have liked to see REEality set up for themselves, so if they did win that team fight, this is what they could have then achieved. But unfortunately, that last fight, it's always a tricky one at Control Point C as well. The conveyor belts on both sides. And really, if you don't want to be constantly displaced, you have to fight in the middle. Who does that then favor? The team that went all in on the Wombo, which was Xylophone dudes. Yep. When REEality, they really wanted to isolate and just burst down single targets.
Yeah, they were unable to play the style they wanted to play that game. I mean, they had that good comeback moment. There was 5 kills, but I feel they didn't quite take value or take the advantage they really needed in that situation. But that was game number 1 of XD versus REEality, as Xylophone dudes versus REEality, I should say. And it's a 1-2 series. So XD only need to win 1 more to close out tonight. But REEality had some good moments there, Vandy. So we shouldn't throw them out just yet.
No, both teams are still quite closely matched, and you can see both teams are really, as I said already, they're struggling in terms of their execution and the synergy still as a team because they're both newly formed teams. But when they do hit, I guess, the holy trinity of their ults, of their combos, you can see it's really nice. Like, I really liked that fight in the bottom lane. You saw it open with the Entomb. When the Entomb finally fell, then the Mosh came out. So you're not really overlapping those heroics. It was just the fight, and the members of REEality that were caught weren't the right ones. And that's really where things went south, but it still didn't matter. On the side of Xylophone dudes, you had the Nazeebo, the power spike also achieved by Nazeebo and Leoric, just meant it was always going to be very, very difficult for REEality to try and come back from that one. Yeah,
look, that's 100% true. REEality had a big game ahead of them, and they still got they just had a big game. They got a big game ahead of them to come. But guys, we're just going to go to a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is the HEC ANZ Premier League.